Updog.
Updog. Updog.
Updog Sports Talk.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Updog Sports Talk. My name
Updog.
is Matt Miller. Joined as always is Justin McGovern. How you doing, Justin?
Doing good, Matt. Definitely excited. NFL football is pretty much here. We are in our next division here in our preview series. Today, we're very excited to talk about the NFC South. And this cannot go without beginning with the defending champs, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Matt, let's dive right into it.
Not much needs to be said. They're probably going to win another Super Bowl this year because Tom Brady is just that good. He played on a torn, meniscus and MCL.
Yeah.
He tore half his knee and still won a Super Bowl. You can still play without him. It just is really hard to pivot. So that,
Right.
but they got everyone except for Antonio Brown back.
No. Antonio Brown's back too.
Oh, I think.
Yeah, so somehow they managed to keep everyone happy and get everyone back from last year, which is just ridiculous.
Did they get playoff Lenny?
Yeah, they
I
managed.
guess I missed that signing.
They kept playoff Lenny. They kept Ronald Jones, kept all three receivers. They actually have a few additions to the offense, even if that's believable. OJ Howard's back from injury. They also added Giovanni Bernard to catch passes out of the backfield. This team is just absolutely packed.
So with the rule change for no taunting, do you think anybody's going to get fined to the point where they get suspended?
Probably. I mean, it's such a soft rule.
It sucks. We'll get to that a little later.
I was going to wait until the NFC East preview to do this, but I'm going to bury the old white with the giant.
No. Wait for the NFC West.
To see that.
Wait for the NFC West. We can bury him then.
Okay.
I only brought it up because the last thing that anyone remembers in the Super Bowl is Winfield going up to
Tyreek Hill and going.
Yeah. Nothing else needs to be said. Bucs gonna win the Super Bowl again, or at least beating it.
It's difficult to repeat. I will say that. So I'm not ready to write them in as Super Bowl champions yet. But obviously, beating Tom Brady is going to be tough. Tom Brady had an absolute blast this offseason. It's fun to see him looking like an actual human. I definitely like Tom Brady. I'm probably a little bit biased, but I definitely like Tom Brady Bucs on the Bucs over Tom Brady on the Patriots. But
I think everyone does.
Yeah.
Except for Patriots fans.
And in the NFC South. So all the rest of the teams that we're going to preview. But this team is definitely the team to beat. This team's going to be tough to stop. The team that stopped them in the regular season is actually the next one we're going to go over here. New Orleans Saints. One big difference is that Drew Brees is gone, and now the quarterback competition is down to these two guys.
Technically, they have a third in Ian Book, who is actually playing pretty well, but I think he's going to be like a Josh Rosen for the Bucs, kind of like practice squad guy, or maybe they'll have him as the backup. I don't think Taysom Hill is going to be the starter. I think if they're smart about this, they have Jameis Winston be the starter and have Taysom Hill be the occasional quarterback, kind of like Florida when they had Tebow early on. They had him as a red zone quarterback. I think you can see something similar, especially if Jameis Winston struggles in the red zone. I think you can see Taysom Hill coming in for some of those formations.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely, I feel like Jameis brings a lot more to the passing game. I'm not sure what Hill can bring. Now, I know the passing game is going to struggle a little bit because Michael Thomas is out. Probably at least for like the first 6
Hey,
games.
they signed Kevin White.
Yeah, didn't he come off like the 49ers practice squad or something?
Yeah, and he was the one that like was supposed to be really good for the Bears and then just didn't do anything.
Yeah, he like hurt year one and never panned out. But yeah, they don't. They're really down on receivers. They obviously have Alvin Kamara, who is easily the top talent on the team. They have a pretty good offensive line still. So this team's going to be pretty good at running the ball. So you can definitely see where Taysom Hill has a lot of involvement. They can definitely take control of games by just running the ball. But in terms of needing to pass the ball, Winston brings a lot more to that element of the game.
Yeah, I think he was just in a bad spot on the Bucs with Bruce Arians because Carson Palmer threw a lot of picks. Tom Brady he was on a track to shatter his career picks, and then Big Ben had his highest career picks under Bruce Arians as offensive coordinator, and then obviously now Jameis. And with the eyesight thing getting fixed and sitting up 1 year under Sean Payton, I think
the Harvard of quarterbacks, they called it.
Yeah. I really think that Jameis Winston's name is going to start popping up, especially for fantasy owners.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to be the go-to guy in New Orleans.
Yeah, I feel like he has a lot of potential. We'll see if he pans out. Definitely it'll be a little bit tough about many receivers to throw to. They're really hoping their tight end, their second-year tight end, Adam Trotman, I think his name is. He's actually from nearby the University of Dayton.
Mm-hmm.
To play football, but he apparently is a candidate to break out. But that defense, they have a lot of questions there too, because I mean they were just like salary cap disaster this offseason where they couldn't afford people anymore. Their chickens came to roost a little bit with all the contracts they signed, and now their defense took some losses as well. So it'll be very interesting to see how they deal with that situation.
Who we got next?
Well, up next, we have the Carolina Panthers. Definitely this team, it feels like they're on the rise a little bit. Obviously, they're still figuring out the quarterback situation. It looks like they're going to move forward with Sam Darnold this year. Christian McCaffrey is going to be back from injury, which is going to be huge for them. They added Terrence Marshall to a pretty good receiving core as well. But yeah, Matt, what are your expectations for Sam Darnold?
This whole season for the Carolina Panthers will depend on Sam Darnold's success. If he's USC successful, they probably won't get anywhere near to beating the Bucs, but they can majorly improve. Yeah. If he's the same Sam Darnold from the New York Jets, you can pretty much write them into a top 5 pick. Christian McCaffrey, great running back. He was probably going to be their number 1 receiver again this year. But they're not like slouches at the receiving core.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't label them as the best in the division, obviously, but I mean they do have a solid core. Defense was a liability.
They have more. They actually have Robbie Anderson, who Sam Darnold's familiar with from the Jets. Obviously, like I mentioned, Terrence Marshall was added this offseason. Offensive line's okay. But like you said, the defense now, it's a question mark still, I would say.
Yeah, Luke Kuechly retiring has hurt them for years. And I think he saw the writing on the wall and where the team was going. And I think that's part of the reason why he retired.
Yeah, absolutely. This defense is definitely still a major work in progress. They still need to get better in the pass rush, in general, stopping the run.
Do you think we're going to have like a Big 12 team here?
What?
A Big 12 team where they're like pretty good on offense and then just terrible on defense?
So I actually thought they would look like that last year. I mean, the defense last year was better than expected, but it still couldn't come up with a lot of stops. James Bradbury has definitely been a star in the secondary, but everyone else is kind of struggling a little bit. It'll definitely come down to how many stops they can make to see if it can help them win some shootouts. And personally, I do think that Sam Darnold's going to improve. He's no longer being coached by Adam Gase, which is already a huge plus. I'm very intrigued to see what he can do getting out from under there. So I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I can't wait either.
But our last team in the division, they're pretty much starting over this year. The Atlanta Falcons. They do still have Matt Ryan, but obviously Julio Jones is gone. They have a new head coach. What expectations do you have for them this year?
Not many, or not much. But they did get what's his name from Florida?
The tight end Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts. They got him. And I see why they took him, because if the quarterback position wasn't so heavily favored in the draft, he probably would have been the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
He has that much talent.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan will get that talent in him, so to replace Julio Jones, but the receiving core is just Calvin Ridley, and I believe that's it.
Yeah, there's not much outside Calvin Ridley. Mike Davis is going to be the starting running back. There's no competition for him. He filled in decently for Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers last year, but he's all right, but there's nothing special about him either.
Yeah.
And defense is just still a mess.
Yeah. Ever since those safeties, both their safeties got hurt, like right at like the year after the Super Bowl. And then their defense has just been terrible ever since.
Yeah. They have not been able to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Try to address it, and they just keep drafting busts out there.
Yeah. And the loss of Todd Gurley, as injured as he is still between the ears really good. Yeah. So, like, even if he won't put up 100 yards a game, having him in the locker room would have helped. But with his injury issues, it just like it doesn't make sense to re-sign him.
And last year, he actually was pretty good in the red zone.
Yeah,
except
for
role he took on.
Except for scoring that touchdown late.
Oh yeah, but he was going for his bonus at that point.
Oh yeah, but Falcons, I have them. If Sam Darnold does improve, I have them at the bottom of the division. So I'd say Bucs will be number 1, obviously. I would still have the Saints number 2, then the Panthers, then the Falcons.
I'm gonna be a little bit different than you. So I have obviously the Buccaneers number 1. That one's pretty obvious, but I'm actually gonna make a bold prediction here. I'm gonna have the Carolina Panthers number 2. I actually think Sam Darnold plays well this year. That team is on the rise. This year is going to be a rough year for the Saints. I think this is where things kind of fall apart a little bit and they have to start over. Just the cap issues and everything. They lost a lot on that team. The Saints are going to fall off and fall to number 3. It's not going to be a good number 3 either, I don't think.
No.
But
I don't think they're going to be a good number 2. I really don't think. Like, I think the only reason, in my opinion, that they would be second in the division is because of Sean Payton and Alvin Kamara.
Right.
And I guess Michael Thomas, if he gets his stuff straightened out, but I really do think that like it'll come down to coaching, and he's the best coach in the division, just doesn't have the best team.
Absolutely. The Falcons have him last. Definitely this year is just a whole big restart year. Like you said, I mean, the biggest addition they got this offseason was a tight end, and tight ends usually even struggle in their rookie year. So it's going to be a tough sledding for the Falcons this year.
Yeah, I do think that if they would have went Justin Fields, they'd be in the same boat.
Absolutely.
Because as talented as Justin Fields is, they don't have much else outside of that.
Yeah.
So they're kind of just stuck. They're kind of, you know what? I actually see them doing bad, but then getting Desmond Ridder from UC. He would be a great piece to help bring them back.
Yeah. And overall, they need to work on the defense. And
yeah, that defense is horrible.
Yeah.
Well, got anything else for him, Justin?
Nope. I no one in this division is going to stop the Buccaneers, but the question will remain: can someone else stop them?
No. Maybe
We
the
will see.
Rams. Maybe the Rams. That's about it. But
Yeah. There will be some other contenders. They're definitely not impossible to beat, but the Buccaneers are absolutely coming out of this division.
yeah. Well, that's all, folks. See ya.
Have a good one, everybody.